Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Libra for the week of May 30th. Now Libra, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now, I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform, so do not get scams. Let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Libra. Now, I am using the Psychic Tarot deck as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to both of these decks in the description below. Let's go ahead and get all the cards out here. Now, I would ask that you hit the like button and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, but more importantly, hitting the like button does ensure that other people who may need to see these messages have an opportunity to see the messages. So let's go ahead and make sure we're all in view, and then we'll get right into it. All right, and put these up here, and we'll also take 3 Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. Put those over there. All right, Libra. So taking a look here, it's almost like I'm getting this energy of your manifestation not quite being there, but it doesn't mean that it's not on the way. What I feel like saying is that there is a manifestation that is on the way here, but there's going to be, how do I say this? There's going to be, we'll call it a bump in the road, or there's going to be a test of might, or a test of, I think probably willpower is probably the better way of saying this, in seeing this manifestation through. Let's just dive into this a little bit more and we'll talk about it more. But in the overall situation, you do have this 5 of Wands, obstacles and challenges card. You can see that there is literally a bump in the road here, or a gap in the road. This person needs to make the leap. Okay, this person needs to make the leap. And, you know, this could involve you potentially needing to put your full force into something. Here, the 5 of Wands can be about conflict and competition, not just obstacles and challenges. It's probably more about conflict and competition, but it's almost like, obviously you see the way to get across to the other side, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that way is easy, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that that way is easy. In fact, you have this interesting animal spirit here, this bird spirit here guiding you. You may also be somebody who resonates with, you know, blue jays, cardinals, maybe other type of animal spirits, or bird spirits rather, avian spirits, something like that here, as you have that obstacles and challenges in the middle. And it's like there are signs, there are the path is illuminated, the light is showing you the way, but again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be easy. And I'm getting this idea where it's not doom and gloom type of energy. It is more about just the natural challenges of bringing a manifestation into being, right? Good things require energy. You know, rewards require energy, and that's just the reality of a situation here. In the past, you have the 3 of Cups and the Magician, which is rejoice and celebration as well as awareness here. And so you can see the Magician card. They have, it's interesting in this interpretation here, the crown chakra is being highlighted. And, you know, the crown chakra is really your spiritual center. This is where you receive downloads in one's life. This person is generating ideas or generating manifestations within the universe, and they are working in concert. They're working hand to hand with the universe to bring something into existence here, and you can see that that is illustrated here. You know, for some of you here, this awareness is your awareness at this time is I'm having a hard time making this sentence out. There's an awareness that you can bring a manifestation into being, but I think there's also an awareness that that does require energy and that does require efforts. The Three of Cups is obviously about rejoice and celebration. It's about enjoying yourselves. It's about happiness. And typically you can see here that this is also maybe about your social circle, the company that you keep. It's a really nice energy. And I think that there's been some type of like revelation or awareness here around your ability to bring something into existence. The Magician can talk about willpower, and the Magician has like a deep reserve, a deep well of willpower to bring a manifestation in. And so it's almost like it's there, but again, the road, there are some obstacles along the way, and it doesn't mean that those obstacles are going to keep you down. It just means that they're there, and you have an awareness that they are there, and now it's time for you to keep going, is what I feel like saying. In the future position here, you have temptation, which is the devil, and suffering and silence. Okay, so temptation here, obviously the devil energy is about issues around potentially power and control. And it's also, I feel like in this case, ensuring that you are not lowering your willpower. Okay, everybody has willpower, but you're not letting that fade away in any way. Okay, this is this idea, like you may be tempted, literally, you may be tempted to give up. And this could be maybe because of some type of isolation here. You have this Nine of Swords, suffering and silence. Nine of Swords is somebody who's like in the middle of the nightmare, but it is a good energy here as well. It is an energy here as well of like isolation. You can see that this person does see the sun on the horizon here. And actually mountains in tarot represent rewards and riches, or I'm sorry, mountains in tarot represent obstacles to be overcome. And especially as they are in the distance here, you do have some obstacles to sort of hurdle over. But that's just part of, bringing an important manifestation into life. That's part of, working on something important here. And it is like the energy for the advice and the guidance that I feel like coming in is I know it's so cliche for me to say this, Libra, but it's literally the guidance here is to not give up, okay, and to not allow you to be to not get tempted with or to not be tempted by throwing in the towel. My words right now, but do not throw in the towel, and do not allow yourself to be tempted by throwing in the towel, because there is absolutely some manifestation here available. It's just that, trying to find the way through any sort of obstacle. So let's move up the pyramid here. So you have the Eight of Cups. You have the Emperor card. You have the Four of Pentacles, and you have partnerships and alliances. Okay. So, all right, so the emotional withdrawal energy here with the Emperor, or the Authority card, is interesting because it's almost like for some of you here, you've had to find your way. You've had to find your way, and this may have involved you taking ownership over something in your life that just was not serving you or was not working. The Eight of Cups, in other interpretations of the card, sees the person walking away from situations that no longer serve them. It sees the person allowing empty cups to be behind them and instead moving forward. This person here has the entire ocean in front of them. In fact, they're sort of praying towards the ocean. They're realizing that they are on their way to wish fulfillment. The card that comes after the Eight of Cups is the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. They are on their way here. This has required you to have authority over your life and to take ownership, to drop the things that aren't serving you. The Emperor here, the Authority card, is an incredibly good omen to find in a business reading. And you can see that there's this halo around them again in this interpretation. You can see it here with, isn't this interesting? Look at the repeating symbolism here with the awareness and the Emperor. They both have this yellow circle or this yellow ring above their head, and even highlighting the crown chakra, which is actually just something I picked up here. I've been using this deck for the entire time I've ever been reading. This is my first deck that I've ever used in becoming a reader, all the way back years ago. And I just picked that up now. The color yellow is associated with the solar plexus chakra, and the solar plexus is your power center. It's where you derive self-worth. It's your willpower. And so for some of you here, this is important. You have the firm foundation as well, which is the Four of Pentacles. This is you climbing the mountain here. We have this mountain symbolism as well, going the distance, overcoming the obstacle. And, obviously, this is, mountains do not only talk about obstacles to overcome, but it also represents that as you get to the top of the mountain, you are rewarded, right? It talks about aspirations, right? Who doesn't want to summit, a huge mountain? Mount Kilimanjaro, right? Who wouldn't want to get to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro or Mount Everest, right? This is the idea here. You have this partnerships and alliances as well, which is the Three of Wands. There is something here about other people being involved now with this rejoicing celebration, the Three of Cups, the Three of Wands in this deck. The Three of Wands is about growth and expansion, though, opportunities on the horizon for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 oracle cards. These Kipper cards. So you have definitely good things coming. You have community, family room, and distant horizons. So there is something around your social setting. There's something around your community, your neighborhood, the group of people that you work with, your colleagues, and maybe even your family. Some of you may be even working from a home office, something like that. And then you have this distant horizons card, which is really a perfect message for this reading, because distant horizon says that there are good things ahead. There are good things ahead. It may take 3 months or more, especially if you're just starting now, but if you've already started, it could be sooner. Just don't get hung up on timing in these readings. It's so hard to wrap down timing in a collective reading, but the distant horizons card does suggest 3 months, according to the author of the Kipper deck, but it says that there are good things ahead. And as we see that mountain in the distance here, both in the suffering and silence and the Four and the firm foundation, there are things to overcome, but there are also lofty goals and aspirations that you have for yourself. And there are good things ahead as it relates to those goals and aspirations. So let's go ahead and continue moving up the pyramid here. So you have 5 of Cups, you have the 2 of Swords, and you have the 6 of Wands. Okay, so the 5 of Cups, yeah, there is something that many of you here are really looking to move past, okay? This is just being highlighted. Look at these 3 Cups cards here, forming here in a diagonal in the past. And this may be what your awareness is on at this time, where you're maybe coming to this awareness that, there's been something that's been occupying your heart space here in the past, and that may have been holding you back a little bit, or that may have been serving as a blockage towards this, in getting this manifestation off the ground. And this could certainly be what is kind of being unblocked at this time for you as well. But moving past the disappointments here with the emotional loss, emotional withdrawal here, returning to the celebration in your life. You have this 2 of Swords, which is about a mental conflict. It can also be interference in one's thought process or in one's life generally. And again, there is like this obstacle in the, there's a book that I just listened to. I think I've listened to it multiple times, but I just re-listened to it on Audible, called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And I'm getting this idea here where you have to turn obstacles into opportunities, Libra. You have to turn obstacles into opportunities at this time. I feel like there is an obstacle that can be turned into an opportunity here for you. You may want to take a look at that book if you're really interested. It's about Stoic philosophy. It's an interesting book. The Silicon Valley types really like it. It's not the best book I've read, but it's definitely not a bad one. There's definitely some nuggets of information in there. But you have the 6 of Wands, victory and success, which is literally as it suggests. Again, kind of can see you being recognized. There's even public recognition with the 6 of Wands, but it's a major card of success, and it's the second win in the suit of Wands. You actually have the 3 of Wands and the 6 of Wands, which sees you progressing. That is situations progressing for you. 2 wins in the suit of Wands. Very good energy here in the future. Exceeding expectations. Let's see what else we have. We have the 3 of Swords. And you have the waiting game. I just have to say, there's pain in the past here, Libra. There's pain in the past. With the Three of Swords, I mean, look at this, right? Emotional withdrawal, emotional loss, Three of Swords, heartache and loss. There's some type of loss here. I think it is related to the heart space in some ways. Something here where emotions were, a part of this for sure. And it's working past this. The waiting game, look, it may take some time here with this Two of Wands, Distant Horizons energy here. It's interesting though, we have the 2, 3, 4, 5 of Wands. So wait, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, do we have the Four of Wands? We do not have the Four of Wands. 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, so we don't have the Four of Wands, but we have a whole lot of energy in the future around the Wands suit. And Wands is about career and finance. It is about enterprise. It's a very inspiring suit in the tarot, and it's a really inspiring energy. So there are good things coming, but there is an obstacle that you are maybe looking to turn into an opportunity. Let's go ahead and the aforementioned Four of Wands at the top of the pyramid. So we have the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Wands showing up here. Isn't that interesting? All Wands card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Wands. Yeah, all Wands here showing up in the future. This does not happen very often. Four of Wands, foundations and achievements. Seeing this through to the end, turning the obstacle into the opportunity, and going right through it here. You have the Truth card on the bottom. This is the Judgment card. This is getting very real with yourself. What do you need to add? What do you need to drop? What is not working? What is working? And it is a card of karma. It is a card of the kind of karmic scales balancing in your direction, and just taking a look at your process, taking a look at the way that you are operating in this life. And this looks incredible. Thank you so much for being here, Libra. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I will see you in the next reading.